I cannot open this jar from the inside. You cannot either. An octopus can. This is the smartest animal in the ocean. It has 9 brains. It has 3 hearts. Its blood is blue, not red. And the mind that figures out a jar from the inside will almost certainly be dead before its 2nd birthday. For 10 years, I have wanted to keep one. Let me start with the number in the title, because it is real, not a figure of speech. An octopus has 9 brains. There is 1 central brain between the eyes. Then there is a separate cluster of nerve cells, a small brain, at the base of each of the 8 arms. Around 2/3 of an octopus's neurons are not in its head at all. They are spread out through the arms. What that means is genuinely strange. Each arm can taste, touch, and react partly on its own, separate from the central brain. An arm can be working out the texture of a rock while the animal is looking somewhere else. A severed arm will keep reaching and grabbing for a while because the decision making is partly local. It is less like one animal with 8 limbs and more like a committee that has learned to act as one. The plumbing is just as odd. 3 hearts, 2 of them pump blood through the gills, 1 pumps it in the rest of the body. The main heart actually stops beating when the octopus swims, which is part of why they prefer to crawl. Swimming wears them out. And the blood is blue because it does not move oxygen with iron the way ours does. It uses a copper-based molecule called hemicyanin. What? Hopefully I'm saying that word right. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. Which works better in cold, low oxygen water, and it turns the blood blue instead of red. So before we even get to behavior, this animal is built on a completely different blueprint than us. It is about as close as an intelligent alien as anything that has ever lived on this planet. Now the part that broke my brain a little. An octopus is colorblind. Its eyes, as far as we can tell, see only 1 channel. No color, and yet it does the best color camouflage of any animal on Earth, matching the exact shade of rock or a piece of coral in under a second. How does a colorblind animal match colors it cannot see? It sees its skin. Octopus's skin is packed with the same light-sensitive proteins called opsins that line the inside of our own eyes. The hypothesis is that the skin itself can detect light and maybe color directly all over the body. The animal may be reading the world through its skin while its eyes are only measuring brightness. Underneath that, the skin has millions of tiny color sacs called chromatospheres that it opens and closes like pixels, plus reflective layers, plus muscles that change the texture of the skin from smooth, spiky to match a rock. Put that together, an animal that is colorblind, thinking partly with his arms, may be reading the color of the world through its skin and then repainting that same skin to vanish, all in about a second. We still do not fully understand how it works. We are watching it as it happens and reverse engineering it in real time. So how smart is smart? An octopus can solve a maze. It can learn by watching. It can remember which individual humans it likes and which it does not. This is a coconut octopus. It collects coconut shell halves, carries them stacked under its body across open seafloor, and assembles them into a shelter when it needs one. Then there are the escapes. Almost every public aquarium that has kept an octopus has a story about one getting out. They squeeze through gaps barely wider than their beak because the only hard part of an octopus is that beak. There is a famous case of an octopus named Inky at an aquarium in New Zealand that slipped out of its tank at night, crossed the floor, and went down a drain pipe to the sea. I keep coming back to this jar. The reason a sealed jar matters is that nothing in a million years of evolution prepared an octopus for a screw top lid. It works it out on the spot with no instinct for it, using a body that has no bones and a mind spread through its arms. I've traveled all throughout Latin America, and I've been to Europe, and I've stayed on a budget, and I've also lived in even expensive places with friends, and I've did it by myself half the time. And so I share this in my Substack. So follow that Substack link in the description, and it's on the video here if you want those tips and tricks on how to travel and experience that solo traveling, and even find the best places possible, especially for somebody like me who's a digital nomad. You can live that life as well. Here's the part that changed my mind about ever keeping one. This animal, with all of that, lives to 2 years. That's it. A mind that can open a jar and recognize your face has the lifespan of a pet mouse. For most octopuses, reproduction is a death sentence built into the body. After a female lays her eggs, she stops eating. She spends the rest of her life guarding them, fanning fresh water over them, cleaning them, never leaving them, slowly starving. By the time the eggs hatch, she is usually dead. The male dies not long after mating too. The scientists call it simulparity, one reproductive event and then death. And in the octopus, it is driven by a gland near the eyes. Researchers have shown that if you remove that gland, the female stops brooding, starts eating again, and lives longer. The self-destruct is hormonal. It is wired in. You have one of the most intelligent animals that has ever existed. Evolution gave it almost no time to use that intelligence, and then it ends on purpose. This is why nobody should be keeping one in the living room. People try. The trade still sells them, but you are buying an escape artist that needs perfect cold salt water. That will take its own tank apart out of boredom. That is already running out of time the day you get it. You are signing up to watch a genius die young in a box. At one point when I was growing up, my father actually had an octopus for about 2 months. Every time he walked past the tank, it would just ink the entire tank. So he got rid of it. Probably for the best. Here is what I actually want to leave you with. We picture intelligence as a thing that sits in a head, behind a face, looking out through 2 eyes. Ours does. So we go looking for minds shaped like ours, and we miss almost everything else. The octopus is proof that a mind can be built a completely different way, spread through the arms instead of stacked in a skull. Okay. It is intelligence with no neck, no spine, and no second act. And it is right here in the ocean. And it only gets 2 years. I came into this wanting to keep one. What I walked away with is the feeling that the most respectful thing I can do with this animal is leave it in the water and pay attention while it's here. It is the smartest animal in the ocean, and it does not get to grow old. If this made you see the octopus as something stranger and smarter than you thought, subscribe and come with me. I am trying to find the rare animals and the quiet people keeping them alive. And some of them do not have a backbone.